It was always inspiring to see them live their values. Now, as a professional in the Jewish community, I find their dedication even that much more profound. It's so rare to find volunteers who are as committed, thoughtful, tireless, and upstanding as our parents. As many of you know, I am the URJ Crane Lake Camp Director, and as I get ready to open camp and take care of 3 out of 6 Schreiber grandchildren and a whole bunch of your children and grandchildren in this room, I can truly say that the way our parents have lived their lives, so deeply committed to our family, to Judaism, and to Israel, has inspired the work that I do and the life that I lead.
Good evening. I'm Todd. I'm Judy and Allan's son. And I just wanted to start by saying it is really so wonderful to see so many of you here to honor my parents and Benjamin. So many, for me, so many old friends and family. I mean, I feel like I'm sort of reliving the greatest hits of my childhood here. And you know, and since there are so many good friends here and family, I thought I could sort of tell you a secret, if that's okay. Is that all right? Yeah. Okay. So, you know, it took a little while for me to warm up to the whole Israel bonds thing. You know, my parents, when I was probably 10, my parents came and they said, your grandparents have bought you a wonderful birthday present. I said, oh, this is great. What is it? And they said, it's an Israel bond. I said, oh, what's an Israel bond? And they said, well, it's like money, but it's invested in Israel. And of course, all I heard was the money part. And so I said, oh, can I have this money? And he said, well, you can have it in 5 years. And you should probably roll it over. So it took a little bit of time for me to warm up to that concept of Israel bond. But I did, because as Debbie mentioned, giving back to our community, particularly the Jewish community, and participating was such an enormous thread that went through our family. It was so important to my parents, and they really instilled that value of charity and community in all of us, and have continued to do that. Jonathan mentioned that you can give Israel bonds to your grandchildren, and every year my parents buy as a birthday present for all of our kids, buy Israel bonds for their birthday presents. And my daughter it's her birthday. We just talked to her about it. My grandparents bought you an Israel bond, and she's not quite old enough. She's turning 9 next week, and she's not quite old enough to get there. She kind of gets it, and in 5 years, when it's time to roll it over, I understand it a little bit more. But I just want to thank both of you for being wonderful role models for Debbie and Josh and I, and Amy and Kay and all the grandkids. It's wonderful. So Mazel Tov, congratulations.
My oldest just turned 5, and we got to check him. From Israel, yes. My name's Josh. I'm the youngest of the Schreibers. If I could describe my parents in 2 words, it would be, give me a good word, quick. 2 words would be loving and supportive. The loving part goes without saying. Supportive, my parents, in all our careers, they've been there every step of the way. I have a business where it's a music school, and we write music, we put out music, produce music, and my parents have been amazing partners the whole way. it wouldn't have been possible to do what we've done without their love and support. My mom, obviously I can talk to her about teaching and working with kids and working with families, and my dad helps us with our, any question I have about finances and books. And honestly, they're my go-to when there's any question. But their love and support obviously goes far beyond their children, and that's obvious here tonight. And it was sort of a funny coincidence over the last few weeks with the closing of the temple, and I was there for the service the night before the Torathon, which my mom raised. Sorry, the Tor Trek, which my mom raised $4.2 billion for. And we're there, say we're giving away, or we're auctioning off all these things in the temple. I said, well, those massive chairs from 1947 that are covered in maroon felt. Can I get one of those? And so I ended up the proud recipient of 2 of those chairs that sat on the bima at Temple Emmanuel. So I went in. I drove into Worcester to pick them up. The temple was completely empty. This was after the Torah trek, obviously. The temple was completely empty. There were 3 people there, the janitor, and then my mom and dad. And what were they doing there? They were, one by one, unscrewing every single gold leaf from the tree of life. There were 1,000 leaves on this tree. Each held on by a screw about that big, 2 screws that big. That's 2,000 screws, ladies and gentlemen, that these 2 were one by one going through and unscrewing. I called my mom, last week. I do call my parents quite a bit. That's my life. And my mom said, "Oh, hold on, I'm with your father. We're taking down the last of the consecration pictures." Anyways, it goes without saying their love and support, not just for family but for their entire community, is undying and just amazing to see. I was asked to sing a song, but I didn't write a silly song. It was. We've done weddings, we've done all these roasts and toasts where we have to write silly songs for mom and dad, but tonight I figured, historically throughout our whole lives, it's always been let's sing a Shehechianu whenever we get together. So I was hoping we could all sing a Shehechianu. I brought my guitar. Oh yeah, we're singing Shehechianu. Okay, everybody, sing along. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kivanu v'hikianu b'zman hazeh. Same words, Baruch atah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kivanu v'hikianu b'zman hazeh. Big amen.
Thank you, Debbie, Todd, and Josh. And now I'd like to call Carol and Michael Sleep.